Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. It is time for another Bears Now mailbag. So launch in those questions, hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get them answered on the show. All right, from Bears Fantasy Football, if both Kyle Monangai and Roschon Johnson are healthy, who will have a bigger role? Well, we are fingers crossed that both are ready for week one. Neither was placed on short-term IR, so that's a good sign. This is how I see the roles. DeAndre Swift is your primary back. He's going to get, most weeks probably around, 18 to 20 touches. I think Kyle Monangai is like your true backup, like he's your number two back, like especially between the 20s, he'll get his touches. And then Roschon Johnson's your thumper, short yardage, goal line. I think those are the ideal roles for all three guys. So that's the way I see it. In terms of who gets the most bigger impact, Monangai or Roschon. Roschon maybe more touchdowns, Monangai probably more touches. That's probably how I see it. So both guys will have roles. Both guys are clearly behind DeAndre Swift, though. Who will have the bigger role if you had to guess this year? Type KM for Kyle Monangai or RJ for Roschon Johnson. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. KM for Monangai, RJ for Roschon Johnson. Bigger role behind DeAndre Swift this season. Mike, what is our cap space in 2026? Quick little Google search over the cap. Let me toggle over to 2026. This does not paint an accurate picture. It literally says 1.4 million, but there's a lot of contracts they could move on from. They could restructure. They could cut Tremaine Edmonds. I would guess a realistic number once they make logical moves, probably like 30 million. So not as much as they've had. They spent a lot of money this offseason, especially on that offensive line. And Dio Adengbo, guy better produce. JJ, with Smith out, how drastically does that impact the secondary? Terell Smith, I wouldn't say it drastically because he was not expected to be a starter, but it just hurts your depth, right? If Tyreek Stevenson struggles or gets injured, or if Nashawn Wright, struggles, gets injured, whatever, you just don't have that, high floor backup outside corner. So that's a bummer. Wright's had a good camp. I expect Stevenson to start. Hopefully Nashawn, if he does play, can play well. He did not look great in the 2 preseason games despite having a good camp. Need Jalen to be healthy. That is critical. You need Jalen Johnson to be healthy. If not, corner's a weakness, especially on the outside. All right, subscribe to the channel. We're less than 300 subscribers away. Give you guys my authentic takes here, analysis, news, reaction, trades if those pop up, and a whole lot more. So support the show. It's free. All you got to do is subscribe. We are chasing 128,000 subscribers. All right, Mike Media, is he really still Chef Poles? I haven't called him that, and I don't know if I ever called him that, to be fair, but I haven't used that phrase in ages. But, the Green Bay getting Micah isn't necessarily a knock on Poles, but it's not a check mark on Poles either. Look, if Dio Adengbo's a bust, that's just a fucking awful signing. It just is. I hope he's not. I hope he's a good player. I'm still somewhat hopeful he can be, but it didn't seem like it was a great camp or preseason. The snaps I saw against Josh Simmons, a rookie at left tackle for the Chiefs, Josh Simmons dominated. So we'll see how it looks in the regular season for Dio. Need Montez Sweat to bounce back too. Soldier Bear 85, do you think these injuries are due to Bears coaching style and he'll need to tone it down in the future? It's hard to say. I mean, honestly, how many times did the Bears have soft tissue injuries under Eberflus in camp? I would say overall they've actually had less. They've just kind of popped up here 2 weeks before the season. So that's not ideal. But the only serious one they've suffered is Terell Smith. Austin Booker, yes, short-term IR, but it's not like he's going to miss the season. These things just happen too. Look across the league. I mean, the Niners had 30 guys go down in the preseason. It was crazy. So, you can only control so much. I'm a believer that, building these calluses with these physical practices in camp is smart. And by the way, in the regular season, you can't really do that much. You don't do padded practices much. In fact, it's in the CBA. You only get so many during the regular season. So the time to do it is in August. All right, today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Football is back. I'm enjoying the college football. I can't wait for the big guys to get going soon here as well. Other sports, baseball, once basketball and hockey are back too, esports. You can use all these sports in your PrizePicks lineups as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. Got a little week one deal. Dak Prescott more than half a passing yard. He's going to have to throw for a lot more than that after they lost Micah Parsons via trade. But pair that with something else. You got a 2-player lineup, and your chances of hitting are pretty good because you're already halfway home. You could also do up to 6-player lineups. Certain lineups you can win up to 2,000 times your money. Like I said, yes, $10 can turn into $20,000. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, that's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. What is the latest on Parsons' back injury? Somehow I think it's just going to disappear. Just a thought. Just a thought. Who knows? Corey, I trust in Ben Johnson, unlike Eber Moron, to scheme Micah out. Yeah, I mean, look. It's not like the season's over because the Packers got Micah Parsons. It just sucks because that's a guy this team really could have used. Not only could this team have used it, but now you have to go up against him twice a year moving forward. So that's the painful part. Not, you not getting him, yeah, that sucks. But, if he went to the Patriots or something, it's like, who cares? But the Packers got him. So, yeah. My Nintendo Master, what's your record prediction? Well, I had a full video ready to go. I think I have to reconsider my Packers predictions after this trade. So I'm going to have to sit down and revisit. When I did it way back when the season schedule came out, I did 11-6. So stay tuned. We will have a new one before week 1. Predict the score, Bears, Vikings. Who wins and what is the final score of this game? Give us your thoughts down in the comments. Fired up for week 1, baby. Bears, Vikings, get those score predictions in. Tom Penenzo, can we do anything to improve the pass rush? Yeah, I mean, look, there are free agents that could help. Most notably, Terell Smith and Jadeveon Clowney. Recent reports that both guys are healthy and we're waiting for the right opportunity. Would they help drastically? Probably not. Would they help a little bit, especially compared to what you have? I think they would. So if they want to go that route, they can. I don't know if they do. There's been chatter. Maybe they're not great locker room fits. Okay, fair enough. Trade market, I don't really see anything right now. I think, stuff like that will be revisited closer to the trade deadline. Austin, do you think Grady Jarrett pulls the same weight as Kenny Clark, and could we have offered him in a similar deal? I mean, maybe, but they wouldn't have traded Grady, I don't think. They just signed him. I think a more realistic name would have been either Odengbo or Montez Sweat, to be honest. And you might say, well, wouldn't you want to pair him with Sweat? It's like, yeah, ideally, but, it probably would have been Montez, or maybe it's like Javon Dexter, a guy who Matt Eberflus is coach. So maybe that's the type of player you're looking at that would have gotten sent back. Is Andrew Billings enough? Probably not. You'd probably have to send another pick if it's a lesser caliber player. But this, honestly, I expected it to be more. This feels like, and I know Kenny Clark's good, but he's coming off probably his worst year in a while, and he's 30 now. I know they had to pay him a boatload, but that's a pretty reasonable trade if you're Green Bay. DC Viper, if Burden or Loveland don't impress this year, it's going to be hard for Poles to justify his ability to draft. I can't trust Poles at this point with all these chances and whiffs. I mean, yes, if your top 2 picks flop, that's going to be a problem. He's also actually done pretty well in the first and second rounds. Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker were second-round picks. Both have been very good. The Brisker concussion thing, what are you going to do? You're going to ding Poles for that? That's been a good pick when he's been on the field. Gordon, you've already extended him. Good pick. Darnell Wright, look, we can debate the Jalen Carter thing, but I think for the most part, that's been at least a good pick. Maybe not a great pick, but that's been a good pick. Second round, Javon Dexter, We'll see if it becomes a great pick. I think it's been solid. Tyreek Stevenson, same things. We've seen flashes. So, yeah, it's not been incredible, but it's not like he's swinging and missing on all these picks. Now, 3rd and 4th round, been pretty brutal. Those are harder to hit, but you can't go over. And, he just cut a 3rd and a 4th round pick in Zach Pickens and Tyler Scott. He cut a 3rd round pick last year in Velus Jones, and Karan Amagaji barely made this team this year's 3rd round pick. 3rd round's been a major problem. You can't keep missing there. It's an issue. Follow me on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. It's at HGramNFL. Appreciate the support. Show us some love at HGramNFL on social media.